meet you all of you again. So initially we will continue as per our today's session Python programming, and then after we will see some demonstration which was left in last session, like the demonstration of Node MCU board, right? So today we will start with a Python program. Okay. So this will be our session's outline. We will have some introduction of Python programming, and then we will see some simple Python programs. Then we will see one MicroPython, which is actually a subset of Python. So this is very, very useful to execute in a small embedded systems like Node MCU, as well as in other many embedded boards. You can upload this MicroPython and run the simple programs from it. We will see some programming of Node MCU with Arduino IDE, as well as, if time permits, we will see the programming of Node MCU with MicroPython. So anywhere, if you do not get my voice or screen, just say in between, and then after we can correct it accordingly. So here actually we will be looking at first of all Python programming. I'm sure that many of you must be familiar with Python programming, because it's very, very popular nowadays. In most of the university syllabus, Python programming is there. And not only in professors, it is also popular among the students because it is very easy to learn. It's very good high level language, and so many modules are available. So many support is available. Many freeware courses are available online. It's becoming very, very popular. So Python is a general purpose, high level, remarkably powerful dynamic programming language, and it is utilized in a wide variety of applications. Right. So some applications are shown here for a scientific computing, then artificial intelligence and machine learning, computer vision and automation, embedded system development, Internet of Things, game development, web development, and many more applications which is not shown here. But apart from this all, there are many more applications are there. So first of all, those who have not Python in your laptop or a PC, you can easily download. It is a open source software. You can download, visit the website python.org and download the latest version of Python 3.11. It is, you can install it for different operating system, like you can install it for Windows if you are using Linux, as well as other operating system. It is available in almost operating system. Nowadays, students can use Python only in a mobile also, right? Alternately, in this Python, actually, you require to install so many modules using pip command, Python installer for packages command. Pip means Python installer for the various packages. You need to run pip for many, many modules. But alternately, you can use this Anaconda installation, where most of the modules are available directly. You don't require to install it separately. Anaconda, I will be using today Anaconda because I like Anaconda. I don't require to see the compatibility and many other things because I am using OpenCV for image processing and video processing and all that. And because of that, actually, I don't require to install many, many other modules. You can also use Google Colab, online platform available. It's a very nice platform given by Google. Google Colab also you can use by this URL https://colab.research.google.com. This Google Colab allows you to use Python notebook, and not only the Python, but also the GPU available at Google server. Normally, if you purchase a laptop or a PC with a GPU, it is very, very costly. So for a students, it is very, very useful. Particularly if you want to run machine learning, deep learning algorithms using a Python, and your laptop will become very, very busy, and sometimes it becomes very hot because of a lot of computations involved in that. It takes a lot of time also. So for such computationally intensive task, I recommend to use the Google Colab. Right, so Google Colab is available. You can use it, and even you can advise your student to use it. Then we will discuss today about the MicroPython. Actually, MicroPython is any open source Python programming language. So most of the commands are very, very similar to the Python. But the feature of MicroPython is that it is designed to run on a small embedded device like Node MCU. You can upload this MicroPython in a Node MCU. It will reside inside it and it will run from it. So that's actually a very, very advantage. Then MicroPython doesn't support entire Python standard library. So we can call it as a subset of Python. So all the library naturally it will not be supported because it is designed for a small embedded devices where memory is limited. So in a small memory, we cannot fit all the modules the Python. So it's has a very, very minimal support. All the commands you will not find there. But whatever the commands required for the hardware, like reading a sensor data or this sending a signals to the actuators or a relay or any output device, all that commands are easily available in a MicroPython. The advantage of MicroPython is that it is a footprint, so requires a less memory. Python is designed for a PC or a laptop where huge memory is available. MicroPython is designed for embedded systems, so naturally it requires a less memory. It is very similar to hardware due to hardware APIs are available in the MicroPython. Clean and simple Python code to control the hardware. So it's very easy to control the hardware with a Python code. And almost the MicroPython commands are very much similar to the Python commands. The disadvantage also there, it has a limited standard library functions. Naturally, it is a small footprint, so it will not be able to occupy all library functions. So limited library functions are available. And somewhat, I have seen that execution speed is also less than C. So sometimes it may create a problem for a real-time signal processing where execution speed requirement is a critical. But in most of our applications, we want to read the sensor data. We want to send control signals to the actuators. In that case, it is sufficient. Just a minute. One interrupt has come. So just for a moment, I will. Okay. So before discussing on this PPT, I will switch over to the Jupyter notebook where I will execution of some of the program. So I have downloaded the Anaconda, and then Jupyter notebook will allow us to run the programs directly there. So all of you can see my screen where Jupyter notebook is displayed and Python programming is written.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
It is visible, right? And those new to the Python, I will start with a variables and data types. It has a many variables and data types like logic variables, binary, which has a two levels, true or false or one or zero. It has a numeric variables like integer, float, complex, It has a sequences like strings, list, and tuples. It has a set and frozen set. It has dictionary. So more data types compared to the C language is available here. And very important that here in Python, we do not require to declare the variable. Depending on the data you provide to the variable, automatically variable type will be decided. Like here, I have provided the data height equal to 50.5. And if I type if to run the command, I am pressing here shift and enter. Then it will the whatever I have written in this cell, it will run automatically. It is displaying the type of variable is a float. So if I remove this 0.5 here, and if I run it again by pressing a shift enter key, you will find that here the type of variable is automatically converted into the integer variable. If I write this 50 into the as a string, then you will find that the variable is converted into the string variable. So variable type is given automatically. We do not require to type the variables separately here. So that is the beauty of actually a Python. So programmer did not worry about declaring the variables. And then you can give, depending on the data what you are giving to this. Let's say I'm saying your name equal to LD College of Engineering, and if I run this, automatically it will return me the string type of variable. Not only that, you can change type of variables by giving, let's say this height was here a float variable, but if you want to convert that variable into integer type of variable, you can say y integer into the bracket height. So it is a kind of a typecasting we are doing. So we are changing the type of variable of height from float to integer. So now you can see 51.5, it is displaying rounded to the 51 because we have converted that variable into the integer variable. And if you run this, it will display the type also at the same time, type of variable, as well as it will print the value of that variables here. So you can easily change the type of variables. Even if you want to change this variable to string, you can do it. Then Python operators, it is the many arithmetical and logical operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus operator, exponential operator, assignment operator. Then there are comparison operators are also available. These comparison operators are normally used with if-else condition, where we are comparing the variables with some value, and based on the comparison result, we want to take some action. Then logical operators like and, or, exclusive or, complement, then shift left, shift right, logical and, logical or, logical not, all these variables are available in the Python. And the precedence of operators are normally, if you want to remember, it is a PEMDAS. PEMDAS is the sequence. PEMDAS means parenthesis, exponent, multiplication. So highest preference is given to exponent, then multiplication, then division, then addition, subtraction. But if you want to change the precedence, you can always use the parenthesis. If you look at the example here, let's say here, I am computing y equal to 5 into 6 plus 6 minus 5. This 2 star means exponent, 5 exponent of 2. And if I execute this, it is displaying as 11. So I haven't put any parenthesis here. So by default, whatever the precedents are there, it is taken care here. So what it has done? It has done 5 into 6, so 30, plus 6, 36, minus 5 raised to 2, so minus 25. So 36 minus 25, the 11 is the answer. But if I want to change the precedence, I want to give compute this 6 minus 5 first and then all other operations, then I can put bracket here. So now in this case, 5 into 6 will be a 6 minus 5 will be a 1, 1 raised to 2 is equal to 1, so 30 plus 1 is equal to 31. So like this, by putting a bracket, we can change the precedence. Otherwise, normal precedence will be like this: exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So parenthesis is naturally is having a higher precedence. Then various mathematical operations are possible, like we are defining here width and height, and we want to compute the area by this, and you will be able to compute this like in this. Similarly, you can compute the area of circle and all that. Here I have declared some variables in hexadecimal format. Hexadecimal format means if it will represent a binary data like this 0101 0101. So it is a 55 is a binary data. And then this is AA. AA means it's a binary equivalent to 1010 1010. And I am here doing Z is the output results where we are doing X and Y. So I am performing ANDing operation between these two. And all of you know that ANDing operation means both the inputs are 1, then only output will be 1. If any one input is 0, then output will be 0. So here 1 0 will be resulted into 0, 0 1 will result into 0. So naturally the output will be 0 here. And if we run this, we will see that here the output is 0 because we are doing bitwise ANDing operation. We are doing ORing operation, then ORing operation means if any of the input is 1, then output will be 1. Or both of the inputs are 1, then also output is 1. Only output will be 0 only if both the inputs are 0. So here you can see at least there is a 1 is there everywhere. So 1 0 will result into 1, this 0 1 will result into 1, so on. So the result will be all ones. All ones means is FF in hexadecimal value, right? So you can perform bitwise and or and all other logical operations by giving the instructions. So these are the all bitwise logical operators. For ANDing operation we are using this AND. For ORing we are using this vertical line. This is cap is for exclusive OR operation. This is tilde is for complement operation. 2 less than sign is for bitwise shift left, and this is for bitwise right side. Then you can also have a operation like this and logical operations, like we have a two variables. Let me take two variables here. I will add the cell here, set the cell below, and I will add two variables like a is a true, or let's say a is equal to 1, b is equal to also 1, and c is equal to a and b. And let me print the value of c. If I run this, output will be 1 because 1 1 is the input, so output is 1. If I make this equal to 0, and if I run this, the output will be 0. So ANDing operation, if you do not want to do bitwise, then you can use simply AND. But if you want to perform the bitwise operation, then you have to use this ampersand sign. Right? So that is the difference between this AND and this AND. Then similarly, there is a bitwise shift left operator. So here x was actually, we have already earlier defined here, x is equal to 5, 5. So let me define it here again so that it becomes very clear to you. X is equal to, let's say 0x55. 0x55 means in binary, it is 0101, 0101. And when we shift left, the combination will become, after shifting, it becomes 1010, 1010. 1010 means A. So this 1010 is one A, this 1010 another A. So like this, we will get the answer AA. If I change this number, let's say, let me change this number by 6, and then let's try to run this program, then the answer is AC, because 5 6 means this is also 0. So in this case, this will also become 0. So this number is now A, and this is actually a this 110. Sorry, so this one will be there because 6 means 110. Okay, so the result will be AC. So ultimately, it will shift your bit to the left side. Similarly, if you use your right operation, let's say if I doing here. I'm using right operator, then it will shift my data to the right side. If I run this, I will get the 2B because now I am shifting to the right side. In the right side, whenever I am shifting, 0 will be inserted on the right side, and the most left bit will be taken out from the data. So this is how shift right and shift left will work. Okay. Meanwhile, if there is any question, any doubt, ask here, and otherwise we will go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please.
Hello. Sir, we can write that the Python program in PyCharm also. Can you write
Yes,
that?
yes, PyCharm. Yes, PyCharm is also available. Python IDE is also available. There are many integrated development editors are available. Right? We can use any of them.
Can you import by writing that the program in PyCharm into the Node MCU?
No, in a Node MCU, you require a ESP loader as well as a Thodi Python. So PyCharm is not allowing us to write a program. MicroPython do not allow us to upload it in the Node MCU.
For uploading program into the Node MCU, need that the Python.
Yes. For to upload the MicroPython program in a Node MCU, you will need a ESP loader. As well as there is a ESP tool is also available.
No, I have with us the ESP32 Node MCU. So
Okay.
by writing program in this Python software, the
Okay.
same program will be uploaded in that the Node MCU ESP32.
Okay, I will show you that also. Just let me open that ESP loader.
Means PyCharm is not valid for that the ESP32.
Yes, yes, it is not supporting
It
that.
is not
I
valid.
will show you that ESP loader is available with
Okay.
me.
Okay, sir.
So this is actually a tool which will allow us to write the MicroPython program into the Node MCU. For example, I have here, I have, let's say, this program which I have written DHT22, let us say. And if I want to upload this program onto the Node MCU, the Node MCU will be connected here, like here COM3 port is on here. And then
So that
I
ESP
have to.
is the different software.
Yes, it is a different software. Yes, it is for a MicroPython.
Rather than that the Python.
Yes, yes. Rather than the Python, it supports MicroPython.
Means we have to again install that the ESP loader.
Yeah, it's very easy. Installation is very easy. Just you have to download one folder will be there. Java runtime should be there, and it is again open source, freely available.
Sir, from where we will download it, that ESP LoRa?
Just in a Google, you can type ESP LoRa and you will get the link.
Okay, okay.
And one more is there. One more is a Thony Python. Thony Python ID is also there. This one is the ID. So this ID also you can use. You can just THONNY, Thony Python. This is also useful to upload the program in Node MCU. But I like the ESP loader because ESP loader is somewhat more convenient.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's go ahead. The Python is having a membership operator also, like in. So here, for example, I have written a name equal to HRDC Nagpur, and I want to see whether in this string D is there or not. Right? D is in name, and then I want to print this the result actually. So what does it do? It sees whether D is there. If D is there, then it will return true. If it is not there, it will return false. So here D is there, so it has written true here. But Z is not there in this string, so it has written the false here. So membership operator will see whether whatever you want to search in a given string or a given data is there or not, present or not. Similarly, also this is a one kind of a tuple, what we say some data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Data 4, D is equal to 4 in data. You want to check whether 4 is there. Yes, it is there. So it is saying true. E equal to 7. 7 is not there in the data. So it's returning false. So like this membership operators also we can use. And then there is a Python, there is a called list and tuple. So there are two data structures are available. The list is a data structure in Python that is mutable sequence of element, just as strings are defined in characters between the quotes. List are defined having a values between the square brackets. So this is one example of list. L is equal to into square bracket. I have written some data 1, 2, 6, 7 something. And then this is also an example of list where names are written. So some names are written here. So all the string variables are there. This is also a list. Similarly, we can have a hybrid list which is having a different data types like integer data types or string, float, everything is there. So LDC, HRDC 3.14, all type of data types are there. So list may have a hybrid elements also. So this is actually a all examples of list. Just I will run and show it here. It is just displaying the list here. So list is always there in a square bracket. Then along with the list, there are many functions are available. For example, here L is defined and now we want to know how many elements are there. You can display it. Even if you want to see how many nines are there. In this list actually there are 2 nines. It will count the value of 9 here and it will return the that it is a 2 is available here. If I write here 8 and if I run this program again, the answer will be 1 because only 1 8 is there. If I further increase number of 8 here, let's say I will increase in this way, one more 8 here. So now number of 8s are more here, and if you want to count how many numbers are there, it will give us 5. So for a small data set, it is okay, we can count, but if it is very big data set, 1 lakh entries is there, and if you want to see how many Amit are there, how many Chandres are there, count it easily with help of this function. So along with list, how many functions are available? If you want to know that, then simply you can write dirl, where you will get all the functions available which you can use with the list. So these are the functions available. Out of that, we have only used this count function. You can also insert data into the list. You can also remove the list. You can also do the reversing operation. You can sort the data available inside the list. So these are the all functions are available along with the list that you can try one by one. Then if you have a list and if you want to have a string and want to convert that string into the list, that is also possible. Let's say we have a string like this, welcome to smart city, and we want to convert this into a list. So string variables is converted into the list variables by this command msg equal to message dot split. So dot split will split this message. So different words will be splitted and then it will be available in the MSG. So here I have just printed the type of message. Type of message is a string, but type of MSG is a list. So string is converted into the list. And when we display this MSG, you will find that it is a list is having a different members like welcome to smart city. All the words are member of this particular list. Then there is a couple concept called tuple. So list and tuple. So tuple is actually simple bracket. In a list, if you say instead of simple bracket, if I do here a square bracket, it becomes list. If I write here a simple bracket, it is tuple. It is also a data structure, and it is ordered and unchangeable. So here the major difference between the list and tuple is that the tuple is immutable. You cannot change the member of the tuple. That means if I want to delete 6 here, I will not be able to delete. But if it is a list, I can delete this number here. Even I cannot enter the number here because it is write protected. Tuple is a write protected. Tuple also allows the duplicate members. I can repeat these numbers here. I can repeat here 7, 7 and all that. A tuple also allows mixed type of variable. So hybrid tuple is also available where integer, float, string, all types of variables, binary, everything we can combine together. And this tuple is basically allows, but actually it requires the tuple is more fast compared to list. That is the advantage only of the tuple, and it is the write protected. The tuple is immutable. That means if you want to change this member here, hybrid list to a second number I want to change, it will not allow me to do that change, and it will give error. You can here you can see that is not allowing me to change the variables. Right? But in a list, I can do it easily. If I in a list, suppose in the initially we have seen this list, and I want to, if I want to change the member in a list, I can do it. I will just insert the cell here, and if I say that L5 is equal to 200, then it will display. And then if I display here print of L, now you can see 200 is there. So this 8 value is replaced by 200 because I can replace the values in list. But in a tuple, it is not allowing me. Here tuple, if I am trying to change the value here, it gives me the error. So tuple is the write protected thing. So these are the advantage. Tuple is faster than the list. All data values in tuples is write protected. So when it is required to protect the data, it is better to use the tuple, right? But if if you don't want to protect data, we want to change the data continuously, list is better. So mostly tuples is used as a dictionary keys because normally we want to change the dictionary keys. Like if a dictionary keys is constructing mobile number and name, then normally we don't want to change the mobile number associated with the name. So in that case, a tuple we can use. In a tuple, we cannot add the element, we cannot sort the tuple, we cannot delete the element in the tuple, and we cannot replace the element, but you can do all these operations in a list. So I think list and tuple, the difference is clear. Then in a Python, you can take a loop actually. Loop and is basically required to do certain repetitive tasks. If you want to do the same task again and again, then loop is better. Right? So many times you want to blink the LEDs continuously in a node MCU. You want to read the data continuously from the sensors. So in that case, you have to use loop. So we have a loop like for loop and while loop is available in a C language. Syntax is slightly different. In C language, we use normally opening bracket and closing bracket in a loop. Here, only colon is there. Only indentation is very important here. Right. So once you start the loop, you cannot put print I here. Right. So you must have an indentation here, and then you have to execute the loop. Here for I in range 0 to 10 in a step of 2 is displayed here 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. If I make it 1, then all values will be displayed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that, all the values. Right? But if I write this print I here, what will happen? Let's see. Now it says that indentation error. It doesn't allow expected indented block here. So compulsorily for a loop or for if else condition, we have to uh, do the indentation here. It shows that this print I is a part of this loop. That is actually basically it is showing. Then this is example of a while loop. Initially declared variable I equal to 0. While I is less than 10, I is equal to I plus 1 and print I. So this is actually a while loop. Increment in a step of 2 also. In that case, it will display 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So do while loop is very, very simple here. Here also you can see the indentation is given here. If I do not do indentation here in this way, and if I say print I is by mistake here, then let us see what is happening. Only 10 is displayed, last value is displayed. So entire loop is completed. Inside the loop, I plus 2 is calculated, and at last, whenever you come out from the loop, the last value of I, that is 10, is displayed here. So whatever we wanted to do, we wanted to display all the values, was not done here because of the indentation problem. So sometimes if you have an indentation error, and if there is a one instruction at least after the while loop or a for loop, it's very difficult to debug your program. You wanted to display all values, but only one value is being displayed if your indentation is wrong. Then there is a continue statement. A continue statement says that if particular condition matches, then next statement will not be executed. Like here, if I and modulo operator with 5 is equal to 0, or I modulo operator with 8 is 0, then this statement will not be executed, but instead of that, loop will be continued. So what is happening here is that initially I is equal to 0, I plus 1, so has become 1. So now I modulo operator 5 is not equal to 0. So condition is not matching here or here. So it is printing value of 1 here. Similarly, for I equal to 2, I into I, 2 into 2 displayed here. Similarly, for 3, it is displayed 9. For a 4, 4 into 4, 16 is also displayed here. But whenever I comes to 5, then I modulo operator 5, 5 modulo operator with 5 is the result is 0, because 5 by 5 doesn't have any remainder. So naturally the result is 0. So in that case, the loop will continue. It will not display print I into I. So it will not display 5 into 5, that is 25. So 25 is not displayed here. Then now onwards, 6 for 6, 36 is displayed. For 7, 49 is displayed. For 8 again, 64 is not displayed, because for 8 what is happening here, whenever 8 modulo operator with 8, 8 divided by 8 doesn't have any remainder, so it is 0. So this condition is satisfied. So either of these two conditions is satisfied, then value will not be displayed. So here there is a use of logical operator OR. So can anybody tell me, if I use instead of OR, if I use AND, what will happen? If both the conditions will be satisfied, then only loop will be continued. Otherwise, it will execute the print statement. And obviously, both the condition will not be satisfied simultaneously, because either I will be 5 or 8. It will not become, both the condition will not be satisfied simultaneously. So if I execute this, then my all values will be displayed: 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, and 100. All the values will be displayed, because both the conditions will not be satisfied simultaneously. But if I put here OR, then at one time, so whenever I is 5, this condition is satisfied. Whenever I is equal to 8, this condition is satisfied. So in both the conditions, loop will be continuous and it will not execute the next statement. So I hope the continue statement is clear to all of you. Or
Yes, sir.
any doubt in this? Yes, please. Okay. Then opposite to continue statement, there is a break statement. So in a continue statement, loop is continued, but in a break statement, the loop will be terminated. So then one example is shown here. So here I is equal to 0, I into I is displayed. So 0 is displayed. If I is equal to 5, then break. So now the loop will break. So it will print only up to 25. Then after loop is breaking actually. So if I am using here I is equal to, let's say, 100, and see what is happening. Here you can see now many I is initially 10, then sorry 0, so 0 is displayed, and then I is incremented every time by 5. So next time 5, so 25, next time 10, so 100, then 15, so 225, and so on, right? So here also you can add this AND and OR logical operations. You can always add here. So whenever I is equal to 0, 100, our loop will break. Otherwise, while true is written, while true means it is an infinite loop. If you do not break this loop, then it will run continuously. It will never stop. Right? So to stop this loop with some condition, the break statement is utilized here. So break is exactly opposite to the continue. Then sometimes you require to write your own functions known as defined functions. Then Python is also having a facility of writing a user defined functions. Like here in a Python, there are modules. Like we want to use NumPy module, we can import that module directly. And there are many functions are available in NumPy. But sometimes we want to write our own functions, like I have written here addition function. Of course, add is already available here, but just for the demonstration purpose, this is how you can write a function. So define add ABC. ABC are the parameter which is passing. We are passing through this function, and then we are returning the value a plus b plus c. So we are returning the addition of all these values. Similarly, one more function is written here as sine wave. So in a sine wave, what are the number of samples are there in sine wave that we are passing into the frequency of sine wave, and number of sample points are we are passing as an argument, and then we are returning the signal after computation of the sine wave. Similarly, here is there is a DSB-SC. DSB-SC means double sideband spread carrier. That is the one signal useful in a communication systems, where the information signal is modulated on a carrier, and if you want to plot this signal, then this function is accepting the carrier signal frequency, information signal frequency, and number of sample points. So here we are using a numpy function called np.line space. So what it will do, it will uh, create a different multiplication of np, and np is an np.pi is basically will give you a value of pi. It will return the value of pi 3.14159 by 7, and n is the number of sample points we have given. So it will just create the time span of that, and then here we use the sine function. So sine function is also available in numpy module. We have imported numpy as np, so np dot sine n into t multiplied by np into sine of c into t. So c into t is basically your carrier frequency. This is information signal frequency. When you multiply these two, it will generate a double sideband space signal. So basically, double sideband space carrier is nothing but it is just a multiplication of carrier frequency and modulating frequency, that is known as a information signal frequency. Then if you add carrier in that, it becomes amplitude modulation. So this is one more function written here, amplitude modulation AM. So in AM, we are defining a carrier frequency, information signal frequency, then number of sample points, and then depth of modulation. That is also one more is added here. So how much modulation depth you want. And this is a equation corresponding to amplitude modulation, where both the information signal and carrier signals are multiplied, and it is multiplied with a modulation index. Then carrier is added into that. So carrier signal is added into that, and then the signal is returned back to the calling program. So this is how you can write all your functions, and you can create your own module, and then later on you can import this module into your program. So let us use some of the functions here. So these functions are written already here. I am just executing that functions one by. So for example, here I am executing, let's execute amplitude modulation first, so that it becomes very clear to you. Just I will comment out remaining. And if we run this, you can see this is the amplitude modulation. This is actually a modulation depth actually. Here we are saying the modulation depth is 0.5. So audio signal amplitude or information signal amplitude is half than that of the carrier signal amplitude. So it's a 0.5. If we increase the modulation index here, let's say if I do it here 8, if I run it here again, then as you can see the frequency here, the modulation depth has increased here. And if I reduce this, the depth will also reduce. You can see here the depth is reduced here. So this is how normally information signal is being broadcasted by modulating it on carrier wave. So this is amplitude. Similarly, there is a double sideband space carrier modulation. In that case, I will just comment out this one and will try to show you the DSBSC. So this kind of a DSBSC where carrier is fully spaced. So carrier is spaced, that's why known as a double sideband space carrier. Only both the sidebands are there and carrier is absent. So this type of signals you can generate with help of a Python. You can write your own functions and then create signals, and then you can also plot the signals on the Python. Then there is a very good library called matplotlib library is available, and we are importing this PLT function from it. NumPy is already there. So in this program, we are creating one sine wave with help of a sine function, and then we add some uniform noise into that, and then we are using this function a is equal to y plus noise, so noise is added into that, and then we are doing some filtering, very simple filtering I have taken. Of course, you can take more very complicated filter. This is very simplest filter I have taken, Haar filter. And then I am applying convolution to the signal, and then I am just displaying the signal back here. So just let's execute this program. And this is actually a signal, and then whatever song, red line is noise, what we have added random noise here. Because our filter was very simple, it is unable to remove the noise, so still noise is there. But high pass filter has removed the information signal. So this green one is high pass filter. So high pass filter is just passing the noise. It is not passing the low frequency signal here. So two filters are there. And if you use here more complicated filters, you will get a better results than this. So just you have to change the filter coefficients here and then perform the convolution process with the original signal. This S is our original signal. So we are performing convolution with a low pass filter as well as we are performing convolution with a high pass filter. And then output of both the filters are displayed. So this is a low pass filter output, and this green one is a high pass filter output. So this is actually all about major things about the Python, and let's switch back to my PPT and see what is up. Then there are actually decision making statements are also there. Okay, again, let me check with all of you that whether I'm audible and screen is visible. Okay, everything is fine.
Yes, sir, it is fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Then sometimes we require a decision making, like we read some sensor data, and based on the sensor data we want to turn on some device, we want to turn off some devices. Then we require to check the take a decision, and for that there is if else statement is there. So along with the loop, actually these conditional statements are also very useful. So it will check the condition, and if the condition is true, then it will take some action. If the condition is not true, then it takes some other action. So here I'm taking sensor data. If it is greater than 800, I want to make the device off. Otherwise, my device is on. Like your AC, in AC, your temperature equal to 21 degrees centigrade. If your temperature is greater than 21 degree, you want to keep the AC on, or a compressor on. But so in that case, you can put here conditions slightly change. If the temperature is less than 21 degrees centigrade, device on. Otherwise, device off. Or alternately, you can say if temperature is greater than 21 degrees centigrade, device off. That means compressor will be off. Otherwise, compressor will be on. So like this, the decision so useful in Python programming. So in your program, you will be using this type of decision making statements everywhere. Okay. So if this code sensor data value is greater than 800, logical condition is true, and if the block will be executed, indentation is very important here. If you forget to do the indentation, then this will not work. Okay, so you have a multiple statement after if condition statement X, Y, and all that. Then here you can see if condition, and then this is in indentation. Statement X is in indentation, and this is outside the indentation, right? So if the condition is true, then only statement X will be executed. And if condition is false, then X will not be executed by Y. Y will be still, it will be executed.
The screen is not visible, sir.
Oh, okay, it's gone. Okay, I will share it again. Okay, now I think it's visible, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
now it is visible.
Okay, so multiple statements. Suppose here after if the condition is true and you wanted to execute both statements, statement X as well as Y, then you have to write in the same indentation here. And suppose if you want that, if the condition is true and you want to execute only statement X, then you have to write this into indentation, but statement Y should not be in the same indentation. So in this case, if the condition is true, then only if the condition is true, then statement X will be executed. If condition is not true, false, then statement X will not be executed, but still Y will be executed because it is outside the indentation, right? But to remove the confusion, you can do it in right, because if the condition is true, the statement X you want to execute, otherwise you want to execute statement Y. This situation, what will happen if condition is true, X will be executed, but after completion of this, Y will be also executed, right? But if you don't want to execute the Y, you have to use the else statement here. So there are three possibilities are there. Sometimes if the condition is true, you want to execute both, then this is nice. If the condition is true, you want to execute X as well as Y, then this is okay. If the condition is false, then only you want to execute Y, not X, then it's okay, fine. Right. But specifically, if the condition is true, you want to execute only X. If condition is false, if you want to execute only Y, then this structure is better. So all this will not give you any error actually. Whenever you interpret this command, you get any error because all the statements are true, but you will get a logical error. Whatever you want to execute will not execute. Then there are nested if statements are also there. Suppose here one example, it asks the from the user. So we are storing that in the variable n, and then we compare n. If n is greater than 0, we want to say that n is positive, the value of n is this. If n is equal to 0, we want to display that print n is 0. Else we can say the print is n is negative. Right? So this I like this you can nested if else statement in this way. Then there are logical combinations also you can do along with this if else statement. Like here I am reading the value of temperature and humidity. I have shown you yesterday the DHT sensor. So the DHT sensor is giving temperature and humidity values. And if the temperature is greater than 15 and less than 30, as well as humidity is more than 30 percentage, less than 50 percentage, we want to say that it's good atmosphere. Our AC will be off, our heaters will be off, everything. That type of commands we can also put it here. If temperature is greater than 30 degree and humidity is less than 30 percentage, say hot and dry, we can put also certain commands here to turn on our AC. And if humidity is greater than 70%, we can say that moisture is present in the atmosphere. Or alternately, you can give a command to the devices who can remove the moisture from the room. That type of things we can do. So here it is a multiple elif statements we are using. If, else if, else if. So multiple things we can use here. I think, is it clear or any doubt in this?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay, fine.
No, sir.
A while loop already we have seen, which is the same while loop is written here. So while if you are writing here true, then it becomes an infinite loop. Then you have to break the loop with help of a break statement. Otherwise, you can write some conditions. If you want to execute the loop 10 times or 100 times or 1,000 times, you can write the conditions here. Sometimes you are here this type of a statement while true, then it becomes an infinite loop like this. And similarly, there is a for loop is also there, for item in a sequence. Here also you can put a list, entire list, and whatever the code statement you want to execute inside the for loop, that statements you can put it here after the indentation. So indentation is very, very important here. So here, for example, for loop is taken here for I in range of 0, 10 to which we have demonstrated in Jupyter notebook. Similarly, if in a name there is in a string, actually we want to display the different characters, then also it is possible. Nested loop is also possible, like more than one loop is possible here for rows in the range of 0 to 10, 1, for columns in the range of 0 to 10, 1, print rows and columns. So this particularly in image processing task, this two-dimensional loops are very, very important. because image processing, the pixels will be there in X and Y, both the directions. So in that case, this such type of a two-dimensional loops are very, very useful. And we can also consider this if-else condition in using a membership, like if 2 is in L, the print present, if 2 is not there, absent. So like this, we have seen the membership operation, and this membership operation we can connect with if-else statement, conditional statements. Then sometimes you want to take values from the user until escape key is pressed here. So you take the values from the users, convert the equivalent ASCII value, and then print it and do some other job. And you want to take continuously the input. If the user press escape key, then only you want to come out from the loop. So in that case, this ASCII equivalent of escape key 120 is the number for that. So whenever user will press this escape key, and then it will come out, he or she will come out from the infinite loop. So like this, you can use the break statement to break the infinite loop. Okay, now let's switch back to the node MCU, and then we will see some demonstration of node MCU. So node MCU board is having a Wi-Fi support. It is a it is operating on 2.4 gigahertz. It's license-free band. It has only one analog input. That is the disadvantage of node MCU. If you look at Arduino, there are 6 analog inputs are available, but here only one analog input is available. Of course, there are more boards are coming like ESP2 and all that, which is having a more number of analog input pins are available. So nowadays, Wi-Fi capacity along with more analog inputs are also available. Even if you purchase that Arduino Nano, which we were talking about, in that also Wi-Fi and many analog inputs are there. Node MCU, there are 13 digital IO pins are available, and all the pins are having alternate functions like USART, universal synchronous receive transmit, I2C, inter-integrated circuit, and SPI interface, serial peripheral interface, and it has a micro USB, so which we can use a cable to connect with a laptop or a PC for a programming purpose, and we can use MicroPython or just a few minutes. Have some break. Okay. So again back. There was some interrupt. I stop in between. Okay. Okay. Am I audible and screen is visible again? There was some break.
Yes, sir.
There
Yes,
some
sir, it is
interrupt. That's
okay.
why. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is actually entire layout of node MCU, where all the digital pins are here, like D0, D1, D2. All these are the digital pins. And all these digital pins are having another alternate functions are also there. So here GPIO6, this is very important. Here GPIO6, D1 is a GPIO5. So GPIO number is different than these digital numbers. So while writing a program, we will take care. I will show you it again. So what care we have to take while writing a program. Sometimes, people connect hardware here and then write program it for some other pin. So here we have to take some care. So all this D0, D1, D2, all these pins are digital pins. These also digital pins. Here on this side, there is an analog pin where you can connect the analog sensors. Again, these are the digital pins. And this SCK serial clock, then master out slave input, master in slave input. These are all are useful for SPI protocol, serial peripheral interface protocol. Then SDA and SCK both are useful for I2C protocol, that is integrated circuit protocol. So these all are communication protocols we can use to interface the external hardware with this node MCU. And here there are actually a D9 and D10 alternate receive transmit, that is USART is available here. USART 0 is available here. USART 2 is available here. So USART is useful to send the serial data to the node MCU as well as to communicate the serial data with the node MCU. And this is a reset pin. Okay, it's a reset to reset the microcontroller inside the node MCU. So this pin diagram is useful while connecting the external hardware with the board. Then suppose if you have an Arduino board and you do not have a node MCU board, then you can interface this type of a module, Wi-Fi module known as ESP8266 with Arduino board. So in Arduino there are actually pins available for TX and RX, but sometimes this TX and RX we are using to program the board and for some other purpose to communicate with our Arduino IDE and all that. So we can use some other pins also where we will be using the virtual serial port. So you can have some, I have used here some pins 2 and 3 to connect with the transmitter and receiver of ESP8266. But the ESP8266 is operated on 3.3 volt. So you require here some divider here. So it has a range. You should not apply here more than 3.3 volts. That's why voltage divider is given here. So that voltage will be less here. And here from 3.3 volt power supply, we have connected this power supply here, and some current limiting resistor is also given here. So this is how you can interface ESP8266. But if you do not want this jugglery, you can use the have studied. So no need to repeat that again. But if you look at this program, this is very similar to the program which you have written for the Arduino IDE. The same program will work for node MCU. It is required, right? So here we are defining LED pin equal to 2, where internal LED is connected with a GPIO2. So now here this 2 means does not means D2, right? So here there is a difference. This is not D2, but this is a D4, right? If you look at here, GPIO2 is a D4, right? So here people makes the mistake. So whatever in a program we are writing, that number is a GPIO number, but not the digital number. So that is only you have to take care. So this 2 is nothing but a GPIO2, but you have to look at the pin diagram where GPIO2 is available. GPIO2 is available at D. So the internal LED is available connected with a D4 pin. Then pin mode, again you have LED is connected is output device. So we are declaring this as an output device. And then this is simply a blinking program. Just we are making LED on and off with certain interval, certain delay between on and off. So that's only very simple program. This is known as a hello world program for electronics engineers, right? Normally in a computer engineering, for every program we start with a hello world program, whether we do in C or Python or JavaScript or whatever. We start with a hello world program. So this is a hello world program for a embedded system actually. So by this program, normally we test the board initially. And some changes you require to do in your necessary steps for the installation. So in Arduino IDE, you have to do some changes in order to use the node MCU. So you have to go to files and preferences. In a preferences window, you have to paste this link actually. Right. So I will show you in IDE also. Let me show you that Arduino IDE also, so that it becomes very clear to you. You have to go to here, files, and then preferences. And here I have pasted the link. So this is required. Otherwise, you will not be able to use the Node MCU with the Arduino IDE. So this step is very, very important. Is it clear? And if you Google it, you will get it easily. This link you will get in a Google. Just you have to search that what link I have to paste in Arduino in order to use Node MCU, and you will immediately get this link. Okay, it's very easy to get this link. Then you have to go to Tools and then Board Manager. Again, I will show you that step. You have to go to Tools and Board Manager. And inside the Board Manager, either you have to type Node MCU or 8266, right? That you have to type. So I'm writing here ESP8266. So I'm getting here, it is already installed, right? So it is giving me only one option, that remove, if you want to remove this. Otherwise, if you have not installed, then it will give you install option, and you have to just click here and the module will be installed in your Arduino IDE. So these two steps are very, very important. The first step is you have to go to the file and then you have to paste the link, and then second step is Board Manager, and then you have to find out the ESP8266 and add the library in that. So that is required actually. So I hope it is clear. Any doubt here?
Yes, sir.
No,
No
sir.
doubt.
It's
No,
clear.
sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Because normally when students mess out, sometimes they forget to do this, and then they will say, sir, I am trying to upload the program in Node MCU, but it is not visible in a Arduino IDE. Then you have to guide students for these two steps actually. So you follow these two steps and you will be able to do it. Then you can use your smartphone or a devices to control the devices connected with a Node MCU. If you ESP32, there is a inbuilt Bluetooth module is available, but in Node MCU it is not available. So you have to connect Bluetooth module like this externally. So RxD is connected with a TXD, and transmit data of Bluetooth is connected with a receive data of Node MCU. So it is called an null modem configuration. 0.3 volt. So this is how you have to connect the Bluetooth module, and then we can have a application. Nowadays, lot of applications are available. Ready-made applications also available, but you can also make your own application using MIT app developer. And in MIT app developer, you can have a you can put some buttons like this, and with help of a buttons, you will be able to control the devices on a Node MCU. So this is actually using a Bluetooth link that you can do. Similarly, we can prepare a web application. Like here, I have prepared one web application where it's using an internet browser. The control will be available to us, and with help of a browser, we will be able to turn on and off the devices. I would like to demonstrate some of the things here. Let me connect Node MCU with my laptop, and we'll try to upload this program. We'll try to demonstrate that here. So just I will minimize these, and we'll start the Arduino IDE. Device control web page through Node MCU. This is the program actually I will like to demonstrate. Here I am changing this SSID because this SSID here at this place is a different. So SSID of Wi-Fi here is a Bharat. So I will change it to Bharat. And the password here is Bharat. Here, confirm whether the same password is there or not. Yeah, it's correct password. So I've just changed this, and then I will upload these into the node MCU available with me. So my node MCU is connected with a COM9, so it is already there. So just I will upload this program. So initially when I press this upload button, it will initially compile the sketch. So it is just now it is compiling the program. I think whatever I am doing is visible there or not?
Sir, accessible.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
It's visible. Okay, fine. Meanwhile, it is compiling. I will explain the code here. In a setup, actually, we are saying serial.begin 115200 is a baud rate. So at this baud rate, it will communicate with our local here serial connection. So here, actually, I will just change here. Okay, here is serial monitor is available. So if I click here, then I will get the data because of this serial.begin. And I have defined all this pin mode. All the pin modes are output pins because I have connected 3 devices with help of a RGB LED here. I have connected 3 devices at GPIO 4, GPIO 5, GPIO 2, and GPIO 12. Of course, this GPIO 2 is internal LED. This one is internal LED, and 3 RGB is connected here with these pins. That connection is already I am doing here at present. And initially, I want to keep these all devices off, so I am sending the low signal. Now let us see here whether it is connected or not. Okay. So this serial monitor, it will display whatever the activities being done at on node MCU. I'm pressing the reset button of node MCU. Now it is trying to connect with the Bharat. Bharat is a SSID of Wi-Fi available in my room. It has connected and it is displaying one's ID here. So it is a local IP. I'm just copying and pasting this local IP in a browser. And then the display is available to me. So now this node MCU, I'm not sure whether it's visible to you. I'm showing it here on the screen. Is it visible? In my video, actually, it is. I'm trying to show it here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm pressing here turn on a browser, and it is displaying a green LED.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure whether you will be able to see the color.
Yes,
but
sir.
it's
It is
something
there.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes,
If I press on this turn off button on my screen, it will become off.
Okay.
And then I have given name here like light, fan, air conditioner, but in all devices I have just connected RGB LED, red, green, and blue LED, because if you can control the LED, you will be able to control any devices, because you have to just connect the relay board with this. You will be able to send the signal to the relay, and the relay will turn on, and all the electrical devices you can turn on and off. So just for a simulation of fan, I will turn on the fan, then blue LED will be on. Now its color is a blue. If I turn off, blue will be off. Then AC is represented by red LED. So when I turn on this, red LED will glow, and when I turn it off, it will become off. At the same time, it is also giving a latest status here also. Current status is also being given, displayed here. Similarly, you can give a signal for a electric motor and all that. So by this type of application, you will be able to control the devices through the web app. And now let me switch back to the program. So in a program, what we have written. Right? So this is how where my RGB LED is connected, and all these pins are defined here. And this is actually a routine which gives us a display like it is connecting to, and all type of messages were coming to the serial port like here, connecting to and all that. Not only that, it will also display your status here. See, client connected. Whenever the client will be connected, it will display it here in a serial port. So everything, whatever is being done at node MCU level, everything will be displayed here. Then Wi-Fi, this is a function available in this header file ESP8266 Wi-Fi.h. So whenever in a board manager, when you add this ESP8266, automatically you will be able to use this library and inside this library, this function is available. And with help of these functions, we will be able to connect with the Wi-Fi. And once it is connected to the Wi-Fi, it will display the message Wi-Fi connected. And whenever the Wi-Fi is not connected to Wi-Fi, it is trying to connect the Wi-Fi, you will just simply press the dot, 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 you will get on the screen. And once it is connected to the Wi-Fi, it will get the local Wi-Fi, local IP address, and it will display it there. And inside the loop, if whenever the server is available, it will accept the command from the server. And then if the command is light on, then that particular pin it will make high. So if the connected there, then relay will switch on and the light will switch on. Then whenever it will receive the command like light off, we will send low signal. So relay will turn off and then device will become off. Like lecture से. Similarly, the fan is, let's say, controlled by pin 4, GPIO 4. Then we are sending high signal to GPIO 4 whenever the command we received is a fan on. Similarly, whenever we receive the command fan off, that particular pin will become low. And similarly for AC on and AC off. So it is a repetition of all the commands. Right, and this is how our web page. So whatever the HTML program which is written to create the web page is directly written with this client.println, and inside this double quote, actually all the commands are written. So there is nothing but your web programming, what we are doing HTML language, right? So the same commands are written in header commands and whatever the color, background color you want to display in that page. My color was yellow because I am using here red and green combination. So background is a yellow. I can change the background here. If I want only red background, I will make this equal to 0, 0. So you will be able to get color combination with help of this RGB value, hex value. And here, whatever you want to write, like LD Engineering College or UGC Human Resource Development Center, everything you can write it here. Whatever the fonts you want, whatever the things you want, you can do it here. And then this everything will be transmitted from Node MCU. So whenever you browse it in your internet browser, you will get this page there. So this is working as a kind of a server here. Right, so this is actually a device control with help of a web application. Is there any doubt? Is it clear?
Yes.
I think it is clear, right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, you can read the sensor data with help of a node MCU. I shown you the analog pin is there. If you want to sense the light data and you want to send it to somewhere else remotely or on a web browser, you will be able to sense that. So here LDR is connected with help of some resistor and supply. So whenever light will fall onto the LDR, the resistance will reduce and the output voltage will reduce. Whenever there is a dark condition, there is no light on the LDR, so resistance will be more, so you will get a more voltage here. So ultimately this voltage will change based on the light falls on the LDR. And that light we are reading with help of our analog. And here we have written that LED pin is equal to 2. Still we are using internal LED of the node MCU. Light pin is equal to 0 because we have connected this LDR sensor with the A0 pin. LED pin we are declaring as an output, and here we are doing serial communication with 9600 baud rate. So you can use any baud rate like 9600 or multiple of that, 19200 or 38400, any multiple of this you can use. You can also use half of this 4800 if you don't want more communication speed. You can reduce this baud rate also. So here integer light data equal to analog read into the bracket light pin. So this is actually a function which is reading the data from the sensor. So light pin is our connected with A0 pin. Then it will read the data and it will put into the variable light data. Then it will also print the value on a serial monitor. At the same time, it will compare continuously. If light data is greater than 500, then the LED will be on, right? Because it is a dark condition. So because whenever there is a dark condition, you will get a higher value here. So here values ranges from 0 to 1023. So we are considering if the light data is more than 500, it is a dark condition. We want to turn on the device. We want to turn on the light, right? So that's command is sent here. Otherwise, you want to turn off the devices. So we are sending a low signal here. So whenever we send the low signal, the device will be off. So like this, we can read the sensor data, and based on the sensor data, we can send a signals to the either a light or any some actuators. If instead of LDR, if there is a temperature sensor, we can send data to the compressor. We can send a signal to the compressor. If the temperature is greater than certain limit, compressor of AC. If temperature is less than certain degree centigrade, whatever you set, then turn off the compressor. So like that, you can use the similar program for that purpose. Okay, is it clear or any doubt here?
Sir, clear.
It's clear. Fine.
Sir, clear, sir.
Okay. Then you can do device control with help of an Android app also. Similar to web app, you can have a Android app using MIT App Inventor. Ultimately, whenever user press the red on button, the some string will pass on to the through serial link, through Wi-Fi link, and you will get a red on command. And then the red LED will glow. Whenever green on will be there, green LED will glow. I don't want to demonstrate the program because now we have a very few minutes are there, so I will not demonstrate. Otherwise, it will take a time. But I will skip this program. But we can develop this type of a application to control the devices connected with the Node MCU through mobile application. So you can use your smartphone mobile app to control the devices on Node MCU, as well as you can use web application like this. Not only that, you can read the sensor data and display it on the web app as well as on the mobile app. And you can also read the data locally, and then you can send it to the cloud like ThinkSpeak or UB. I will try to demonstrate one program, and then after we will finish. Let me develop one program. Let's see. Let me see whether there is that. Yes. Let us connect a DHT sensor, digital humidity and temperature sensor with, okay, I will change the SSID because my SSID is different here. So my this Arduino IDE screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will read the DHT sensor and we will send data to the thingspeak.com. That is the one cloud available. So we will send the data to that. And this is API key for my account actually. So if you will create the account in a ThinkSpeak, you will get a different API key. So just I will upload this program into the Node MCU because my previous program was for web app. Now I have to upload this program again, right? New program. So it is at present, it is compiling the sketch. And meanwhile, it is compiling, I will open the browser and start the ThinkSpeak. So it is a very good platform for IoT analytics. So thingspeak.com. Again, I will log into this. Okay, it is I already logged in, so my data is already there. So here you can create a different channels. I have already a sensor data channel available with me. Just I will click on that. Now let us see the condition of our program. See, the program is uploaded, and let us see what is displaying on serial monitor. In a serial monitor, see Wi-Fi connected messages come that is connected to the Wi-Fi. Temperature is 27 degrees centigrade in my room. Humidity is 35%. So it is sending data to the cloud. And the same data which is sent from locally from here, it will be sent to the cloud and it will be displayed on the cloud here. You can see temperature is 27 degrees centigrade and humidity is 35%. So both there are different graphical user interfaces are available here. You can also display like a text, or you can use a different type of a gauge, and you can display here. And you can see here, the last entry less than a minute ago. This account was created 4 years ago. So it is having all the entries. Whenever I start the node MCU and connect this program, automatically the entries will be sent to this ThingSpeak cloud. And you can do MATLAB analysis of all the data gathered here together from the node MCU. So at present, the node MCU is communicating data to the ThingSpeak. So here we are saying that API thingspeak.com, that is the server, and this is API key I have in my ThingSpeak account. So I can click on here and I see my account, and I will get kind of if I want to do more facilities, I have to pay for it. At present, I am using a free version, so I do not have many facilities in my free version. And here I am getting the API key. So this API key just I have to copy and paste in the program. And this is how DHT, again it's very simple because DHT.h header file is available, and these are the pins we are using, which is connected in my node MCU. So I will show you that DHT device which is connected to node MCU. This small white device, can you see?
Yes, sir.
So this device is
Yes, sir.
connected with a node MCU, and it is reading temperature, humidity data and transmitting continuously to the ThingSpeak cloud. So it's very simple program. This is a Wi-Fi connection program. First, it is reading the temperature from DHT, DHT.read humidity, and save it into variable H. DHT temperature, save it to the variable T, and then both the variables are transmitted with help of API key. And here you can see it is converted into the string, and then it is transmitted. And it is also displayed locally with help of a serial.print command. So at every 10 second it is communicating the data. So this delay is of 10 seconds. So at every 10 second, I will modify this second. If you don't require data at every 10 second, but if you require 100 second, then you have to increase the delay. So depending on how much data you are fast, depending on that, you can change this, right? Okay. So similar to this ThingSpeak, there is ub.cloud is also there. So this is actually a diagram which is shown in a ub. Exercise I don't want to give it to you because you do not have enough time. These are the sensors I have used, DHT22, and this blue one is a DHT11. MicroPython part is still remaining, but I think the time is already over. Madam, should we continue or should we stop?
Sir, how much time will you require?
Very only 5 minutes will be there.
Yes,
because
sir,
I
yes.
don't want to
You can
demonstrate it, just I want to explain that.
Yes, sir, you can
That's all.
continue.
Okay. So normally in a Python, if you want to use MicroPython in your node MCU, you require a tool, some kind of a tool like ESP tool you require to erase the node MCU. Because in Arduino IDE, it is very good that when you upload a new program, automatically the old program will be erased. But here you have to erase it with help of this command. This is a command esptool.py dashport, and then this is com port we are defining, and then erase underscore flash, it will erase your memory. Then you have to download this firmware. This firmware is readily available. If you just search firmware for node MCU for MicroPython, you get this file, binary file. So this binary file you have to write with help of ESP tool, esptool.py dashport com6. In our case, it will be com9. At what baud rate you want to write the program, then write underscore flash, and the flash size is 32 megabyte, and then this is the name of the file which you want to write. So whenever we do this command, the firmware will be written into the node MCU, and we will be able to run the MicroPython command inside the node MCU. Once the firmware is installed, you can test your firmware by this command, issuing this Python command, import machine. Machine is the module which will define the hardware of our node MCU. LED is equal to dot pin 2 comma machine dot pin dot out. That means we are declaring this GPIO 2 as an output pin. And LED dot on will simply make the LED on. LED dot off will make simply the LED off. So then after the job will become very, very simple. You can also import time. You can also prepare a while true kind of infinite loop and toggle LED. So continuously it will toggle the LED of node MCU. And this is actually a delay for MicroPython time.sleep underscore millisecond 500. So 500 millisecond delay will be there. At every 500 millisecond, the LED will turn on and off. So very good tool for this is a ESP loader, as I have shown you like this. Is ESP loader. This is a very good tool to upload the MicroPython program in your node MCU. You can download this ESP loader from the website. You can just Google it, or otherwise the link is given here. But you don't require this link because just you Google it, ESP loader, and it will be available to you. And to run the ESP loader, you will need a Java installed, otherwise it will not run. And this is how the ESP loader screen will look like. The board, I think, testing already I have shown to you. Then one more IDE for MicroPython is a Thony MicroPython IDE, which also allows us to upload the program into the Node MCU board. Okay, thank you very much. These are the references from where I have prepared this slide: python.org, anaconda.com, micropython.org. In the book I referred is Python for Engineers and Scientists by Sandeep Nagar. And something I have taken from Designing for Internet of Things from O'Reilly, and something is from NPTEL courses. So these are the references. Thank you very, very much for attending the session.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful and informative session along with demonstrations. Friends, if you have any question, please ask. Or any feedback from your side.
And if you want any help any time, you can just drop email to me. My email ID is displayed here. So anytime without hesitation, you can contact me.
Hello. Hello.
Please.
Sir, we can write a code for Node MC in Arduino IDE also. Then why there is the need to write a program in a ESP loader?
There are actually some Python lovers are there. So for them, actually, it is there. Otherwise, it's fine. In Arduino IDE, everything is possible.
Okay. It's only for a fashion we can write a program in ESP loader.
Yes. Those who are Python lovers, actually, it is given the facility.
It doesn't provide any advantage while writing program.
No, there is no. I haven't seen any advantage till date.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, sir. I think there are no questions. So thank you so much, sir, once again.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, goodbye.
Good day, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Am I audible clearly?
Yes.
Yes. And just a minute. Please wait. Please wait. Stay connected. Please wait. Yes. Kindly give your attendance. Dr. Nomdev Gahane.
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Kalpana Nagde, madam.
Yes, ma'am, present.
Dr. Arjun Mani, sir.
Yes, ma'am, present.
Mr. Subhashish Chandra, sir.
Present, ma'am.
Dr. Leeladhar Revatkar, sir.
Yes, madam.
Dr. Narendra Gharad, sir.
Present, ma'am.
Dr. Vijit Mishram.
Present, ma'am.
Mr. Vinit Anand Pawar.
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Amit Bansod, sir. Amit Bansod. डॉक्टर AR बंसोड़ के नाम से आपने ज्वाइन किया है, काइंडली अनम्यूट एंड गिव योर अटेंडेंस। डॉक्टर प्रशांत येंडे सर, यस ओके। डॉक्टर प्रशांत येंडे, यस, अनम्यूट नहीं हो रहा होगा तो काइंडली राइट इन द चैट बॉक्स। डॉक्टर नंदकिशोर मेश्राम सर,
Yes, ma'am.
यस। डॉक्टर दिलीप साधनकर सर,
Yes, ma'am.
मिस्टर प्रवीण सोनटक्के सर, प्रवीण सोनटक्के,
Hello.
हाँ सर, यस
Am I audible?
यस यस, यू आर ऑडिबल।
Present, ma'am.
ओके। मिसेस मुग्धा घोटकर,
यस मैम, यस मैम,
आपने पेमेंट रिसिप्ट सबमिट की है मुग्धा मैडम?
यस मैम, गूगल फॉर्म पे ही पेमेंट रिसिप्ट सबमिट कर दी थी मैडम,
ठीक है,
गूगल फॉर्म में दे दी थी। हाँ
ओके। डॉक्टर अमित गद्रे,
Yes, ma'am.
डॉक्टर मिस्टर भरत मडावी, मडावी सर अनम्यूट करा। ओके। डॉक्टर वंदना सिंगरू मैडम,
यस मैडम, यस मैडम।
ओके। डॉक्टर राजेश पराते सर,
Yes, madam.
डॉक्टर अपर्णा रंगारी,
यस मैम, प्रेजेंट।
मैम आपने कोई दूसरे डिवाइस से ज्वाइन किया है?
हाँ,
अश्वती
अश्वती
नाव येत आहे।
आहे.
ओके, मी मगाशी अटेंडन्स मार्क केली तेव्हा अपर्णा मला दिसलं नाही। ठीक आहे मॅम,
ओके.
त्याला रिनेम करून घ्याल इफ पॉसिबल, मंडे पासून
हो मॅम, हो.
जेव्हा जॉईन कराल तेव्हा रिनेम कराल। डॉक्टर विठ्ठल पाटंगे सर,
येस मॅडम.
सर पेमेंट रिसिप्ट सबमिट केली आहे?
हो ओके.
मिस्टर मुनेश्वर बिसेन सर, मुनेश्वर बिसेन,
Present, madam.
ओके। डॉक्टर रमेश ताईकर,
Yes, madam.
सर तुमचं रिलिव्हिंग आणि पेमेंट राहिलं होतं, केलंय सबमिट?
हो, पाठवलं मी कुंभार सरला.
ओके। मिस्टर समीर कुमार बेलावे,
Present, madam.
मिस्टर गौरव काळे,
Present, ma'am.
ओके। डॉक्टर गौतम
Present, ma'am.
जयगावकर, डॉक्टर वीणा डोळबले,
यस मैम, प्रेजेंट।
ओके। डॉक्टर मिस वृषाली शेळके, वृषाली मॅम, मॅडम तुम्ही अनम्यूट आहे पण आवाज नाही येत आहे चॅट बॉक्स। ओके, आय रिसीव युअर मेसेज। मिस्टर मनीराम ढिवर,
Present, ma'am.
ओके। मिस्टर MR रमेश, मिस्टर MR रमेश एब्सेंट। डॉक्टर एंटोनी राजे,
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
ओके। डॉक्टर के श्रीनिवासन सर,
Yes, ma'am.
डॉक्टर थिरुमूर्ति सर,
Present, ma'am.
डॉक्टर गुणाशेखरन, he has cancelled.
Yes, ma'am. ठीक है।
Yes. डॉक्टर P प्रेमचंदर,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ओके। डॉक्टर अर्पित केस्ठा,
Present, ma'am.
ओके। चलिए सिर्फ एक कैंसलेशन है अपनी एक्चुअल लिस्ट में। ठीक है, थैंक यू ऑल ऑफ यू। आज आपका रिपोर्ट सबमिशन है ऑन बोथ द लेक्चर्स। और आप थोड़ा सा ना वो साइट में देखिए, मैंने कल के लिए कुछ एडिशनल पार्ट ऐड किया है जो आपको, जस्ट अ मिनट, आई विल शेयर माय स्क्रीन एंड एक्सप्लेन। सेमिनार अपने मंडे से रहेंगे, वो पीपीटीज भी आपको सबमिट करने हैं, प्लस उसके साथ साथ और मैंने एलएमएस के बारे में कुछ वीडियोस अपलोड किए हैं। जस्ट अ मिनट। क्योंकि अभी वो चीज़ें लेने के लिए अपने टाइम टेबल में टाइम ही नहीं है बाकी लेक्चर्स एडजस्ट करने के लिए। तो आपको प्रैक्टिस अगर करनी है, यू जस्ट गो थ्रू दीज वीडियोस। ये देखिए, आज का तो अभी सेकंड सेशन अभी अपलोड कर दूंगी मैं 6 बजे तक 19th। कल संडे है, तो कल के लिए आपको ये वाला टास्क है। सिर्फ कल के लिए नहीं है, इसकी मैंने लास्ट डेट रखी है 25 नवंबर। इज माई स्क्रीन विजिबल?
Yes, madam. Yes.
तो ये देखिए 28 नवंबर संडे आई हैव अपलोडेड 4 वीडियोस ऑन Moodle LMS। जिन्होंने पहले परफॉर्म किया है उनके लिए प्रैक्टिस है तो रिवीजन हो जाएगी, और जो न्यू कमर है वो लोग एक एक वीडियो देखिए और अपने तरफ से उसको सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करिए, क्योंकि अपने को नियर अबाउट 6 से 7 लेक्चर्स ये पूरा पढ़ने के लिए लगते हैं, तो अपने कंप्यूटर और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के सेशन नहीं हो पाएंगे, इसलिए मैंने इसको रिकॉर्डेड वीडियोस के फॉर्म में दिया है। एंड दिस टास्क यू हैव टू कंप्लीट टिल 25 नवंबर। फ्राइडे तक आपको ये पूरी चीज़ें यहाँ पे मैंने जितना भी वीडियो में कवर किया है उतना तो भी बेसिक आपको ऐड करके रखना है। फर्स्ट यू गो थ्रू ईच एंड एवरी वीडियो एज पर योर कन्वीनियंस। कल से ये शुरू है, अब आज से ही शुरू है, आज से ही आप लोग स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं। एंड द लास्ट डेट इज 25 नवंबर। गॉट इट? किसी को कुछ पूछना है इसके बारे में?
मॅडम हे जे मुडलचे आहे ते एक्झाम साठी पण प्रिपेअर करावं लागेल का
नाही नाही
फक्त
नाही
असं
नाही, असाइनमेंटसाठी इथे मी लास्ट थर्सडेला वगैरे मी एक असाइनमेंट देईल जिथे तुम्हाला तुमची साईट सबमिट करायची आहे, आणि त्या साईटवरती सगळ्या गोष्टी तुम्ही ऍड केलेल्या असायला पाहिजे.
ओके म्हणजे मला काय म्हणायचं की आपण जे फायनल एक्झाम साठी हे लक्षात ठेवणं किंवा याच्या नोट्स काढणं गरजेचं
नाही
नाही
नाही नाही, फायनल एक्झामसाठी याच्यातला एखाद 2 थेरॉटिकल क्वेश्चन्स येऊ शकतील, पण असं खूप टेक्निकल नाही येणार.
बर
हॅलो मॅडम.
येस, बोलिये.
हॅलो मॅडम. हा मॅडम, याच्यामध्ये जे पायथन वगैरे आम्हाला शिकवलंय, आम्ही फिजिक्स बेस्ड लोक
हा
आहोत.
हा हा, तर त्याच्यातले क्वेश्चन्स नाही देणार मॅडम मी.